Good afternoon, Whispers, and welcome to another fabulous episode of Whispers in a Bottle Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays. I am your host, Sonya LaRae. I'm a lifestyle relationship counselor, fashion psychologist, holistic health and wellness practitioner. I am your luxury lifestyle architect, and I'm so excited for us to be back in our safe zone to have another dynamic discussion. And Whispers, you know that this is our last discussion for our spring break. Boo! But don't worry, I got us all covered. I'm going to make a couple announcements at the end of the show. So stick around, stick around. Hey, 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 good to see you in the chat box. I was just getting ready to let everyone know that Podbean does something exceptional for us. In each and every one of our live discussions, we have a live chat box so you can drop your questions, your comments. If you want me to reiterate something, down in the chat box, and your girl loves to monitor a great chat box. The fire in me is just burning to just chit chat with you guys when it comes to an episode, and especially something so powerful like today's discussion. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the Whisperers Exchange, our newsletter, please make sure that you do so, because just as I told you that we're about to go on our spring break hiatus, you want to be ahead of the game. You want to be ahead of the curve, even. So, this way, you get to know our schedule. You get to know where I'm going to be, what discussions I'm going to be hosting, even special giveaways that we're giving, even on our parent company page. Everything is in that divine newsletter called the Whispers Exchange. So, make sure that after the episode, you go over into the description box, click the link, subscribe, or join us over there on our Instagram page located at whispers in a bottle_podcast. Send me a message and I'll make sure you get a link as well. So, with that being said, Whispers, take a sip of your featured mocktail of the episode, because we are going to get into emotional awareness, discovering your strengths and the blind spots. Woo! Now, this is going to be a good one. And I'm going to take my time because it's Friday. This is our last episode for right now, for just a little bit over 3 weeks that we're going to be gone. But I like to start all of our discussions off with a clear meaning or definition. So this isn't going to be any different. We're going to get the meaning or the understanding of emotional awareness. So, again, we're going to get the understanding and the meaning of emotional awareness. And that's the ability to recognize, understand, and make sense of your own emotions as well as those of others. Let me give it to you again. Emotional awareness means the ability to recognize, understand, and make sense of your own emotions as well as those of others. So, Whispers, this is a soul stirring episode, believe it or not. And we're going to be diving deep into the intricate landscape of emotional awareness. And you heard that meaning. So I want you to keep that in the front part of your mind. And you heard what it was stating, that emotional awareness encompasses even. So this is going to be a terrain that, when navigated skillfully, becomes a compass leading us toward success. It's a compass that leads us towards deeper connections, even unparalleled personal mastery. Now, this is a powerful master key and a powerful element that we're going to put into our discussion. And even that we're going to get master keys later on in our discussion that are going to really just kind of solidify everything. And notice the words that I'm using in our discussion today, because I tell you all the time, I select them for a reason. And also, they even help us to connect and bind to a topic better. So, understanding your emotional strengths, even it fortifies resilience, it enhances decision making, and fuels self confidence, even. And which are all the things we as people want and need. Now, some discussions I tell you I'm more excited about than others, and this is one of them. Because conversely, unearthing blind spots, those unconscious behavioral patterns that actually sabotage progress or illuminates areas for growth or ensuring we don't become the architects of our own limitations, is something that's important to me as a therapist. And even helping clients to tap into a deeper understanding, a deeper meaning and essence of this is very important for me. So, in the next 40 minutes or so, I want us to dissect 4 powerful master keys that will help us to uncover emotional strengths. And I want to get 4 master keys or 4 master strategies to reveal those exclusive blind spots as well. So this isn't just about self awareness, it's about self actualization. Whew. Now, are you ready? Let's go. So let me tell you why I give out master keys in all of our discussions. Because I think that's important for me to really help you to understand that, and especially if this is your first time hearing me. And anyone who is here and they have been following me for a long time, be it even off air and in different discussions, you know that I give master keys out in all of my discussions. And see, those master keys allow us to open up the secret corridors, the compartments, and those hallways of our hearts and our minds. And notice I said the secret compartments because those secret areas are only areas that you know of. And only you know how to pivot, change, or what you need help in to develop, even. But see, these master keys are even so powerful because they allow us to also lock out or lock off that inner and outer noise that keeps us from stepping up, stepping over, or stepping into our greatness and our purpose and where we are driven to move or how we want to refine ourselves. Now, you see how powerful those keys are. And see, whispers, that's why I tell you when you get your master keys, don't throw them in the back seat of the car. Don't throw them in the bottom of your bags. Don't put them at the top of the closet. Keep them on your keychain, keep them in your hand because you're going to need them throughout your life, throughout your journey, throughout your walk. So, with that being said, I think we need to lean into the master keys that will allow us to discover our emotional strengths first and foremost. So, the first one is this: the mirror of reflection. Dissecting emotional resilience is very important. And emotional strength is not merely like endurance, though. It's I want to say it's the alchemy of transforming adversity into wisdom. And, that's powerful when we can actually transform our difficulties, our challenges into wisdom or those learning curves or the stones, as they say in our lives. See, meaning that we're going to be reflecting on momentums or moments when you have stood, even unwavering, in the face of chaos. Journal those experiences that you have and dissect the emotions involving, and recognizing the muscles or perseverance you unconsciously built. Now, you notice I paused for a second because I wanted to really think about um, how I wanted to say that and how I wanted to put that out into our discussion tonight or today. Because sometimes when we're looking into that reflection or that mirror, we have to be willing to sit in that space of vulnerability, even. And sometimes when we sit in those places and spaces, it can even be a little disconcerting at times. So we want to be able to reflect on those moments. We even want to see those moments that even kind of have helped us to overcome and step up and step in to our greatness at those challenging moments. So it would even lead us into a second master key, which is that intuitive intelligence. Now, intuitive intelligence means that we're going to be trusting your inner compass. Oh, whispers. Now, listen, your inner intuition is a subconscious superpower, and many people don't even realize that. And ladies, let me just say this: you have that intuitive ability, that gut feeling. And fellas, so do you. So do you. But you have to get in tune with it. See, women have been given that intuitive feeling, they have been given that naturally. But see, fellas, that means that you have to sharpen it. You have to tune in, you have to refine, and you have to move into it better. So we have to observe. You have to be willing to observe when that gut feeling leads to the right choices, when that gut feeling is telling you this isn't right, I shouldn't, or let me take a moment to pause. See, learn to sit in that deeper introspective space and place, and trust the feeling that moves inside of you. And sometimes that's hard, especially when we make mistakes or have made mistakes in our lives. So then it's hard for us to maybe trust that intuitive feeling. But see, whispers, that's where we have to have compassion. That's where we have to give ourselves grace. Because see, it's still a learning curve. And we have to be willing to step into that space and place of giving ourselves that compassion that we would give to someone else. So for us to really kind of lean in, and fellas, for you to lean in to that intuitive intelligence, it means that you're going to have to cultivate it a little bit more. How often do you suppress um, instincts or in favor of logic? Or whispers, a refined intuition signals emotional intelligence. Lean into it. Trust it. Hone in, fellas. Hone in. Because you really got it. But don't allow that fear to suppress it, to push it down, to not trust it. See, women have an ability to trust that innate feeling, that intuitive intelligence that drives them, that gut feeling that motivates them in certain spaces and places. And they will say, or they can into in that instinctive place say, this just doesn't feel right. I really don't know why. I can't put my finger on it, but my gut is telling me. Ladies, listen to it. Follow it. Because sometimes in that moment, in that space, and in that place, that's where the emotional awareness and that discovery happens. That's where the strength starts to build and the blind spots start to fade away. So I gave you two powerful master keys from the jump right now. The first one was the mirror of reflection, distincting or having that distinction between emotional resiliency. The second master key was that intuitive intelligence, trusting your inner compass. I have to tell you that my intuition is highly present at all times. At all times, whisperers. It is such a deeper feeling within me. And even it keeps me moving with such integral parts of myself, even. And so many times I hear people second guessing that intuition, and then they wish they had listened or paid heed to it. Well, let me just tell you, I'm in a big place in space currently. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about having a live. I was going to do a live with regards to discussing this, but this is a great space and place for me to actually incorporate this so you can see how that intuition I really leaned into. So, 2025 has been about abundance and more for me. Abundance, focus, purpose, aim, direction, which you know is my clear intention. And in that space and place, I've also seen where I, as a person and as a business owner, want to pivot, change, and grow in other ways, in dynamic spaces and places. And so, of course, many know me because of the things that I do with inside of lifestyle, relationship counseling, fashion psychology, holistic health and wellness, and all. But I've really kind of shifted a big shift. I mean, a big shift that I have started into the luxury lifestyle architect, where I'm bringing a different form and shape into my industry and into my business. And so many have kind of kicked back from that. But that intuition, I lean totally into. I took a moment in that reflection, in that mirror, to really look deeply into my purpose, my drive, my intention. So, which in turn meant that I had to step in and step up on faith in that intuition. That second master key is powerful. Intuitive intelligence. I had to trust it, even where there was a place and a space of fear, where there's a place and a space of doubt. I had to harness it. And notice the word that I used. I used harness because that meant I had to hog tie it and kind of strap it down so it couldn't get away. And so I'm not afraid to step up and step out. And that's what this discussion is about, whisperers. See, that leads us into our third master key, and that is emotional alchemy. Ooh, words. I love certain things. When we come into it, it vibrates. I'm telling you today, this discussion is something that's vibrating at a decimal that's even resonating deeply with inside of myself. Because sometimes as I build discussions out that are going to plant seeds and water your garden, they are also nurturing my garden. So this third master key, emotional alchemy, transmitting weakness into power, transmitting. Every emotional strength was once a struggle. Let me say it again for you. Everybody in the back, if you didn't hear it, listen. Every emotional strength was once a struggle. Do you or did you realize that? And if you don't, take a moment. Let it just sink in for a second. It means you have to identify where past pains have sculpted you into someone that's formidable. Formidable. Now, you know about challenges, you know competitors that are formidable. So you think about different things, like different sports. I always think about, like, when it's something like this, I look at boxing. And there's weight classes for boxers. Now, they don't ever put a person that's in a lower weight class with a heavyweight because that's not a formidable opponent. They would just pow, knock them right out from the start. But then there's some of those lightweights that might be just a little bit more formidable. You never know. But that's not how the sport is played, nor what they do. So, in turn, some of you all have gone through different things in your life. So, some of you all even may have gone through heartbreak. And in that heartbreak, it taught you emotional independence. It fortified you to start to reflect and see the things that you need in a relationship or a partnership that will bring in a feeling of security, a feeling of wholeness, what your positives and what your negatives are, what you must have from what you won't have. But see, in that space and place of pain or heartbreak was development and growth. So maybe you failed at something, or you was in the process of building something, maybe a different thing for your brand or something inside of your life or your mind or wherever you were going, and it didn't work out. But lo and behold, it built that resilience in you, and you pivoted and you changed and you used that as a stepping stone into your greatness of launching into the next thing that you needed to have. Whisperers, do you feel that power? Emotional alchemy, transmuting weakness into power. That's dynamic right there. This alchemy is the signature of emotional warriors. The signature. I've shared with you when I knew I was enough, right? I've had this discussion with you all. I tell you guys, I'm a little transparent about a little bit of everything, and I tell you all a little bit of everything. And I told you all about my experience and my journey into when I knew I was enough. I was only 16 years old, and due to my swim coach treating me very differently because I had a different body type as a Latin American, I've always had an hourglass shape. And so I was built different from most of the girls that I was, in my team with and everything. And she wanted to degrade me, and she felt like she told me that I needed a different swimsuit. This way it was more modest, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. She orders this suit, which took another week or two for it to come in. And when she did, myself and my best friend, who was my teammate, we actually exchanged suits. And my suit was exactly identical to hers. Because see, me and my best friend would swap clothes as well, so we could fit each other's clothes. We had different body types, but we could fit each other's clothes. So when she tried on my swimsuit and I tried on her, she said, "Well, what's the difference? Why is it doesn't look any different?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "Maybe there's something different about it." She's like, "It's nothing different about it, Sonya. It's nothing. She just wants you to feel like you don't look right, that you're overweight, that you keep struggling and this, that, and the other." Well, that afternoon, as I was walking home, I was so angry. And in my mind, I was thinking to myself, well, I'm working hard. I'm doing things. I eat well. My mom cooked well, and she made sure that we have vegetables and fruits and everything that we needed. And when I got to my house, we had a ceiling to floor mirror, and I stood there and I looked at myself and all this bushy curly hair and everything. And I remember taking my jacket off and putting it on the chair. And as I was looking at myself, I said to Sonya, "I like you. I really like you. And I like who you are. And I accept you." See, Whispers, in the face of that defeat, in the face of someone even trying to tear down a child, a young person, that's a formidable years of your life. 15, 16 years old, everything kind of matters then. If you get a zit on your nose, you're like, the world has ended. But that day, I realized I was enough. And that is the person that you get every single day that you meet me. I love this person enough that even in the faults and the different things that I overcome and the things I work on and pivot, I'm enough. And that's where I want you to sit, in this space and place of emotional awareness, the discovering your strengths and the blind spots. Because when we can do that, we refine ourselves. We start to get that smelting pot and it starts to sieve out all of the different impurities. But some of those impurities are kept because they are building blocks to who we are, the integral parts of ourselves. Huh, whispers. Lean in. Lean in, and I promise I'll catch you. I promise you. Because each and every time that I get to pour into a discussion like this, it gets to remove a layer from your scales that you are hiding under. Each time that we get to come together and build on a discussion like this, it elevates your vibration and it sends you to the next level in your life. Woo! Now, if you're not excited, I will say come back and listen to this. Come back and get your master keys so you can skillfully use them. See, whisperers, I always tell you, when it's time for us to go on a little hiatus, I always want to save the best meal for the best time. Because that's what I want to do. I want to pour from that reserve. Remember, I told you, I'm not pouring from the vessel here, I'm pouring from the reserves, the overflow. That's where we want to be. So in turn, we are in that space and place now that we've fortified certain things, and we see that at emotional alchemy, right? It leads us right into the fourth master key of that energy audit. Who and what elevates us? Who and what? See, strength flourishes in fertile soil. We know that this fertile soil is the soil of our hearts. Now, I give you master keys that open up the corridors, the hallways, and the secret compartments of your heart. Do you see how I connected it for you? Do you see how powerful this is? Woo! So, when we see this and we know the fertile soil is our heart, we have to be willing then to audit our inner circle. Do they nurture your emotional fortitude or do they drain it? Do they pour into you freely or are they siphoning your energy? Whispers, you, YOU, must pay attention to the patterns. YOU must pay attention to the determination of what a person is and isn't doing for you. The environments, the conversations, the activities, they're either fortifying you or they're depleting you. They're either draining you emotionally or they're reserving you and building you and pouring into you and having you overflow in abundance. Protect your energy. Now, we hear that all the time. And some people like to say that protect your energy is this new buzzword. It's this new thing, 2025, 2024. No, it's not. It's not new at all. It's just some people have not been aware of how vital this truly is. Some people don't even know that they are on life preserves to even try to resuscitate. They can't even hardly be resuscitated because they have poured out and they have kept on that their energy is depleted. Prime example of this is this. How many of you all have the portable vacuums for your car? And you have to charge them and then you can vacuum your car and everything. And even they now have the ones, I have one that's wireless that it comes with the little charger port that you plug up into the cigarette lighter. But let's just say you had used it and it was like, maybe 2 days later and you go to get it. But it's kind of like, not having that strength, the suction that it normally has. Would you just be like, oh, well, this is okay. It's fine. But it really didn't pick up much of anything. You still got the crumbs on the seat. You got them on the floor. That was a waste of your energy, wasn't it? That was a waste of your energy and even your time. So it's the same difference when we do that with people. When we allow people to drain or pull from us constantly, it's a waste of our energy. It's a waste of our brain cells. It's a waste of our heart. It's a waste of the time. It's the waste that we get that we can never get back. Not to say that people are a waste of time, so do not misconstrue what I'm saying. Because a lot of times I hear some people say, and I said, no, I didn't say that, and I did not mean that at all. So let me clarify it right here. Protecting your energy means that you are not going to allow people that are just constantly pulling from you, but never in return to pour back into you when you are depleted, when you are sad, when you need someone to encourage you. Well, we all got problems. Well, let me tell you what happened to me. But they've never heard anything that you have said. They have never sat there and said, you know what, I'm so sorry. I don't really know what to tell you right now, but look, I'm here. I'm here for you. Can I get you a coffee? Can I just hold your hand? If you need to cry, I'm just here. I'm here for you. See, that is fueling you. That is not depleting you. That is protecting your energy. And you are worthy of that. Your bank account is worthy of that. See, we talk about emotional wealth, and that's what this is all about. Emotional awareness, discovering your strengths. So now that I've laid out those beautiful master keys to help you in really sharpening your strengths, seeing how to build upon that element, I want us to move into detecting our blind spots, though. And I have 4 areas or that we're going to put these keys into as well. Because see, sometimes people have conversations and they give you all of the plus and they give you all these other things that are huge stepping stones, like, yeah, do this and this powerful key and da da da. But then they don't bring out the necessary so you can identify the blind spots so you can start to rework, revive, and change those areas that you become fortified. So that's what we have to do. That's how we have to be willing to do in our day-to-day and in our lives. We have to be willing to bring these things front and center. So the first area we're going to dive into is this: the echo effect. Echo. What others see that you overlook. That's the echo effect. So blind spots are often revealed through repetition. Believe it or not, that's the truth of the matter. And what, I guess, feedback have you heard multiple times? But then again, you may have heard it, but you dismissed it. Or you heard it, but didn't really hear it. You know what I mean? Whether it's about your emotional reactivity, maybe the avoidance of certain things or overcompensation, what keeps echoing back to you? Could it be that you constantly are drawn to the same type person? Or you constantly have or excuse a certain behavior? It means you have to listen without defense, though. That's exactly what this means. And you have to observe without ego. Now, ego will keep you tethered to individuals or behaviors if you don't get them in check. And I've worked with many of people, from men to women, that have had ego driven personalities, ego driven behaviors. And as we're working on certain things, and matter of fact, we had a whole season that was dedicated to the ego. So if you missed any of it, I want you to go back. And matter of fact, while we're on this little hiatus for spring, go back, listen to those episodes with regards to ego so you can get the master keys that can be applied into today's discussion. That you have them on your master key ring and your keychains so you know how to identify and to see the blind spots. So you have to be willing to see things that others see so you can make clear decisions, so you can make clear changes. Anybody and everybody can tell you anything, and anybody can try to lead you. And as they say, you can take a camel to water, but you can't make them drink. And it's the same with people. It's the same for YOU and me. So, Whisperers, the first master key in that blind spot is a powerful key. So, just in case if you forgot or misplaced or didn't get the key, it's the echo effect. What others see that you overlook. That's that first key in really spotting and understanding emotional awareness. We're discovering our strengths and the blind spots. We're navigating and turning our GPS on so we can get a clear and precise destination to that heart and to that mind. So it also means that we'd step into the second key. Triggers as teachers. Now, what makes you react? See, emotional blind spots, they actually thrive in reactivity. And what triggers you, is it criticism? Is it rejection? Is it control? See, these emotional detonators, that's what I'll call them. They expose unhealed wounds. They expose different shortcomings. So instead of resisting, you got to study them. You actually got to go and put them out there on Front Street and really get to know them. Like, oh, wait a minute, hold on a second. Who are you? Why are you here? What is this feeling that keeps coming up? Why is this a trigger for me? Notice the question that is in there. The powerful question of why. And I teach every last one of my clients. I teach even on these shows, each and every episode, that why has life. It has a power into it. So when we ask why, it means we have to sit still. We have to stand still and wait to hear it. We have to wait to receive it. We have to wait to analyze it. So understanding your triggers unveils where deeper work is needed. So when we are in that space and place of why, that's a place and space of growth. That's a space and place that we are paused in so we can start to step on and step over and eliminate or eradicate these triggers. That's how powerful it is, Whisperers. But see, once I said that, it made me think, and I told you that there's 4 keys. I had one that I was going to give you, but I changed and I'm going to give you this one instead. Because I think this one actually goes more so hand in hand with the second key than anything else. That means that you have to have patterns of recognition. Now, the unconscious loops we repeat. Are your relationships following a repetitive cycle? Are your behaviors like, that circling of the drain? You know, rinse and repeat cycle? Are you constantly never getting the clothes washed because they're constantly stuck on the rinse and repeat? Are you constantly never getting the stains out because it's on rinse and repeat? It's the same thing in our life. Do your career struggles mirror past frustrations? Do your relationship struggles mirror past frustrations? Do you have different compensations that you're making to overcome or overcompensate something that has been that barrier that's been in your life? These are patterns. These patterns are not coincidences, though. There's no coinky dink here. They're unresolved lessons. They're unresolved issues. So it requires that you be willing and that identifying them would be the first step in breaking the loop. It would be the first step in even shifting the mindset from that rejection. It would even shift the mindset into seeing that it is something, a pattern we can overcome. Now, imagine if I made you in your wardrobe that every outfit from here to whenever was Argyle. I don't know too many of us that would be happy over that. So imagine if we don't recognize the patterns that we are placing in spaces and places in our lives. We are constantly wearing Argyle. And matter of fact, is wool. And it's 99 degrees outside. That's how powerful it is. That's how powerful it really is. So it takes us into our fourth master key, which is the silence between the notes. What you avoid saying, what you avoid doing, what you avoid changing more than you address or what you need to address. The silence between notes. Now, this is powerful, whisperers. And where does your mind refuse to tread? What do you downplay or rationalize away? So, many of you know that my background and I come out of music. And I have to tell you that what most people don't realize, a rest in music is a powerful thing. So we have that crescendo that's actually going to build. And so they put a rest there. So that means that even as a singer, we take a total pause. We stop. You don't hear us. We don't do nothing. We sit there quietly. And that music is building. And the anticipation is coming. And all of a sudden you hear a cymbal. And you hear that singer slice through a note. Woo! It's powerful. Silence between notes. What are you avoiding? What are you refusing to hear? What are you refusing to even approach? Where is the crescendo that's happening, but you act like it's not there? See, often what we avoid is what needs our attention the most. Confronting the areas, whether it's our accountability, the vulnerability, the fear, is powerful in a space and place. See, it dismantles the very blind spot holding you hostage. When we acknowledge it, when we see it coming, and it may even take practice on our part, because think about it, as even a classically trained singer, I have to learn where that voice has to go in that space and place. It just doesn't go there. And I tell you, you can practice a perfect mistake and it is just brilliant, but it's wrong. It's the same thing in our lives. We can be practicing brilliant mistakes and perfecting them to a T, but it doesn't mean that it's right. And it does not mean that it's beneficial. And it does not mean that you are emotionally aware. So now we're in the discovery zone. We are discovering the areas that need that fine tuning. Maybe it needs a little tweaking or a little change, a little pivot. Maybe it needs for us to realize that we have overcome certain elements in the strengths. Remember, we had the 4 keys in that strength, and we may have not even realized that we've overcome this area or the certain trigger that would set us off. Now we get to celebrate the micro win. Now we get to put in new elements and different things that help us to have that peg that our foot can just find that little footing, and we can step up and step into our greatness, our growth, our development. Whisperers, you hear how powerful this discussion is and has been, and why we need to strengthen our emotional awareness each and every day. The master keys, please keep them on your keychains, but don't allow them to accumulate dust. Don't allow them to rust. Keep them active. Use them daily. Keep them at the ready. But more importantly, are the keys we need to heighten our awareness there, and we're not implementing them? Meaning that they're just there, but they're not being used correctly. See, Whisperers, I tell you each and every episode that there is a live link to my calendar, and that you can book a free consultation to meet with me. And we can map out, and we can even see where we need to hone in our skills, or the direction, or where those master keys have fallen off of your keychain. So I tell you all the time. So in each and every one of our description boxes is a link to my calendar. If you come over to Instagram at whispersinabottle_podcast, there's always a link in our bio. You can even DM me and I'll get back to you. I tell you constantly that even my publicist is available. His name is Trey. He's awesome. He's like the best guy you ever want to meet. And you can email him at treytheglue@gmail.com at any point in time. That if you don't know how to get in touch with me, guarantee you he does. Promise you that one. And listen, we got a live chat box right here on Podbean. Drop a note. I'll get back to you. I promise you that one. See, Whisperers, like I said, lean in. Lean in. I promise you I'll catch you. So, I always tell you that I could go on forever and ever and a day when it comes to certain discussions, because I really can. And this is one of the discussions that I actually love. And I really love working with clients to overcome certain areas, certain blind spots, strengths. I really love it because it's just a part of the service area and my love language of service that I love. And I think that's why I've been so called into this space and place. When I birthed my company, I was 18 years old. And I'm just grateful each day that I get to do what I love. It's not work. I love it. I spend my time and I get spend my energy. Just like I do sitting here doing these discussions, I want to bring value into your life. And even when it's time for us to get ready to go on hiatus, it's kind of like a bittersweet to me. Like, I'm excited to be going on hiatus because I get to spend a little time with my family. Plus, I get to build out more discussions for you all that we can have a full bounty and a beautiful banquet every time we come to the table. And being able to do discussions like this, I have to be able to kind of sit back and think about where I want to take us. Now, let me just tell you, there's more to come in this season of what we're doing, season 10. So, just to give you a broadcasting note, we're going to be on spring break, which is our little hiatus, from April the 11th, which is Friday, April the 11th, to Friday, April the 25th. So that means we won't be back until May the 2nd, which after today's broadcast, you'll actually see the marquee will go up because we're working on getting that up for May 2nd as well. So you can set your calendars, where we're going to be. And also, don't forget, we even have the fan club over here on Podbean now that you can come over. Please join it because I want to know what you want me to talk about. I want to know what bonus episodes or anything you want me to put in there for you all. This is our community. Let's build this community. Anything that you need from me, I'm like, look, I got you. So I always tell you all, please, I love to pour into you, but there's more to come. Don't forget that every Thursday we're on hiatus from all of our shows for Whisper in the Bottle. So just to let you know, so even our show that's on Thursdays on Noon Vibe is on hiatus, and we'll be back with that one also I think that one comes back the week of May the 2nd. Like, so we'll probably have a show, I think that Thursday, but I'm not sure. I have to look at the calendar. But if you have subscribed to the newsletter, you will get the broadcasting notes. You will know when we're back. You'll know everything. So make sure that you also subscribe to the newsletter because I'm telling you, there's dynamic things in there. And plus, you want to keep up with the schedule as well. If you would like to have me on your show or, to even be a host at your event or a speaker, please feel free to lean into Trey. His name is Trey Bump. You can email him at treytheglue@gmail.com. He's also on our Instagram page, right on the front cover where you see our bio and everything. You can link up with him as well because, like I said, he's doing dynamic things as well. And it's an honor and pleasure to be a part of his group and a part of the family. So let me just say in conclusion, that becoming the architect of your emotional mastery or that true emotional awareness, let me put it that way. Let me put it this way. That true emotional awareness is a conscious excavation. And notice the words that I'm using now. And whispers, as you unveil your strengths, you fortify your foundation. You fortify the foundation. Because even though as you expose those blind spots, those are areas that we need to fix in the foundation, right? You get to actually start to repair them correctly. You get to actually start using fine equipment, top tier equipment. You get to dismantle self-imposed ceilings even. All of a sudden now you have cathedral ceilings. And that's where your mind is. It's elevating. It's going beyond the limitations that the blind spots want to keep you at. This work is not passive, though. Just want you to know that. It is not passive. It demands of you courage. It demands of you to be curious or curiosity. And it even demands radical self-inquiry. Because when we have radical self-inquiry, it's a deeper introspective place and space that we're sitting in. Whisperers, I want to challenge you. I don't even know if that's the right word to use. I think I would like to encourage you to engage in an introspective journey. And in that introspective journey, I want you to sit and think about, what strengths will I amplify? What blind spots will I confront? What blind spots will I put down and aside? And what stepping stones will I step up and over on? So let's continue this powerful discussion when we get back in our safe space on May the 2nd, 2025 at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here in our home space and place on Podbean. And don't forget that if there's someone that really needs to hear our show, and even if you just want to share the show, it would be great. Because, we may need someone, our friends, that we are saying our friends and that we are with and that they're vibrating at a decimal. Maybe they need to hear a show like this so they can vibrate even a little stronger. So they can become emotionally aware, or having that awareness to discover their strengths and their blind spots. So you both can keep rising. So you both can keep soaring. So with that being said, Whisperers, don't forget to come back for another fabulous discussion. Don't forget we're on a little hiatus. Subscribe to the newsletter so this way you get all of the updates. You're not left out in the lurch. Like, where is this girl? What happened? Don't worry. I got you. So make sure that you subscribe to the Whisperers Exchange. And you guys, please be safe. I want to encourage you all to be safe. Check on your loved ones. Take a little time for self-examination as well. And really, at this time in this day and age that we're in, make sure you're checking on the elderly as well, because they're going through difficulties and hard times as well. So with that being said, Whisperers, you've been listening to Whispers in a Bottle Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays. That's live every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Podbean. I am your host, Sonya LaRae. I'm a lifestyle relationship counselor, fashion psychologist, holistic health and wellness practitioner. And guys, I look forward to us getting back together again soon. All right, guys, have a beautiful spring break. Talk to you later.